In the 60s, Ron Von Hagen ruled the sand. Then Jim Mingus and Greg Lee took over in the 70s as the game began to change. St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos were the team of the 80s. And now Karch Kiraly and Kent Steffes dominate the game like no other. But through it all, the question remains, who is the best individual player in the world? Find out next on the King of the Beach. From Nevada, Las Vegas, and the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, this is the 1996 Miller Lite King of the Beach. And welcome to a day at the beach courtesy of the AVP. We've had huge crowds for 3 days of competition, and now we are down to the final day. Hi again, everyone. I'm Paul Sunderland. Thanks very much for joining us. We started out 2 days ago with the 14 best volleyball players in the entire world. Yesterday, we got rid of some. The day before, we got rid of some others, and now we are down to the final four. And by the end of business today, we're going to find out who's the best individual beach volleyball player in the entire world, and we're going to name him King of the Beach. Very happy to have working with me here in Las Vegas, and of course all season long, my partner Tim Hovland. And first of all, I have to compliment you. That's one very, very, very nice shirt.
Thank you very much, Paul. I like yours too. I think the Hard Rock's doing us pretty right.
Well, they're taking care of us, except at the tables last night. But that's another story. All right, now back to this tournament. It comes right at the beginning of the '96 season. What does it mean to the winner this weekend?
Well, they're always asking the question, you know, Hovland, Dodd, who's better? St. John, Randy, who's the best? Who's the best on the beach? This will separate the people. If Karch wins this, he's the number one. If Jose wins it, he's number one. So this will, you know, you're the best player this year, and you're going to win $100,000, and you're going to get more sponsorship money for next year.
How did you do in this tournament?
I got a third one time, and I got a lot of force.
Is that like the Prince of the Beach?
It's a queen.
All right, we're going to bring you all three matches here today. The final four, who we'll introduce to you in just 1 second. They will change partners throughout the course of the day until we have an eventual winner. Now, speaking of the final four, we have brought you the best group we could possibly imagine. We start with the biggest block on the beach, Mike Whitmarsh out of San Diego.
Big block, he penetrates the net, but he's quick off the ball too. If he touches the ball, he'll get that second ball up.
Really good ball control. So much success, of course, with Mike Dodd, and played very well with Karch Kiraly yesterday in order to get into the field. And then speaking of big and strong, Scott Akatubby.
Akatubby, flawless hands, great jump serve, and he's pounding the ball across court like nobody's business, and he's playing some good defense out there, Paul.
Kind of defines the King of the Beach. Great all-around skills. Now, maybe the heir apparent. He may be the prince today, but by the end of business, he might be the king, Jose Loyola.
He's been the bridesmaid twice, and he's right in the thick of things right now. On this surface, he can jump, put the ball down, and his jump serve is very effective.
And like he's always said, I like the hot. Now, 3 times this man, Karch Kiraly, has won the King of the Beach. Adam Johnson was the defending champion. He is not here. Karch out to get the crown back.
Karch, Mr. Volleyball, does it all, very steady, and he brings the player he's playing with up to another level. That's what a sign of a great player is, Paul.
Karch Kiraly, the favorite going into today's final round, and this is exactly why. Of course, 2 points for victories yesterday. Karch was undefeated. He brings 6 points with him. Akatubby with 4. Loyola with 4. Mike Whitmarsh with only 2 points with a single victory yesterday with Karch. Has to be considered certainly a long shot. We've had a great 3 days here, of course, in Las Vegas at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, but it's just too much, even for Tim and I, in our groovy shirts to cover this whole scene. So we've got some help today. Heather Cox is going to be all over the court, in the stands, on the sidelines, talking to the players. Let's go find Heather right now and see what she's up to. Heather?
Thanks, Paul. What more could you ask for in the kickoff of the 96 AVP Tour? The Hard Rock Hotel has everything we could want. We've got sun, we've got fun, we've got blaring tunes, fun parties, and in between the matches when we want to break, we've got this incredible pool. The Hard Rock Hotel has been the perfect site for the first kickoff of this tour. I'll be with you throughout the 3 matches, bringing you interviews with the player and all sorts of exciting tidbits during the games. Back to you guys courtside.
All right, Heather, thanks very much. Heather going to be eavesdropping in on the players, whether they want it or not. Now, Karch Kiraly, obviously the favorite, but who do you look for after that?
I like Jose. I like his chances. He's playing big right now. This is, you know, it's his surface. It's his time. I'm going to pull for him.
And he's playing with Karch in the first match. We've got 4 of the greatest volleyball players in the history of the beach. And today we're going to find out who's the king circa 1996. We'll be back. The 1996 Miller Lite King of the Beach on Prime Sports is brought to you by Miller Lite. Life is good. By the Hard Rock, the world's first rock and roll hotel and casino. By Speedo, dreams that winners are made of. And by Powerade, the official sports drink of the Olympic Games and the Association of Volleyball Professionals. Not only is it beautiful during the day, as we've seen the last couple of days, but gorgeous at night. This is the Miller Lite King of the Beach, presented by Volleyball, coming to you from Las Vegas. Fabulous conditions here for the players over the last 3 days as we come to the finals, and the crowds have been fabulous. Big on Friday, huge and sold out on Saturday, and they were here very early as we got ready for play on Sunday, the final day. Now, down to our final four. This is the schedule of 3 matches. Kirai and Loyola together in the first match, and then it is Akitabi and Loyola, Kirai and Whitmarsh in match number 2, and then our third match of the day, Kirai and Akitabi, longtime partners on the beach, Loyola and Whitmarsh. We're going to decide who's the king of the beach. We started out the day, of course, with Kirai and Loyola, Whitmarsh and Akitabi. An interesting match, and we pick up the action at 12-9. Kirai, Loyola in the lead. Huge crowd on hand for match 1 of the final 4 here at the Miller Lite King of the Beach in Las Vegas. Kirai and Loyola, Whitmarsh and Akitabi. Kirai and Loyola in control most of the early going, but Ak trying to make a move right now. Have closed it to 12-9. Have had lots of opportunities early, Tim. Yeah. They could quite conceivably be in the lead.
It should be tied up. Whit had 2 or 3 digs and they didn't transition well. And I think if Ak gets a serving game going, this game could tighten up real quick.
Karch Kirai back to serve, just loopies to Whitmarsh. Great shot right over the top. When you block against Whit, you know, he has the ability just to go right over the top of you.
If he hits a ball like that, nobody's going to touch that ball. It's 9 feet over the net, and it's deep in the corner. That's a perfect shot for Whit.
Just go back and say, nice play, and
do it next time.
Get ready to receive serve. Whitmarsh with the unusual jump serve. Don't see that very often. Nice cut by Jose Loyola right on the sideline.
They're getting their breaks too, Paul. Karch and Loyola are getting the breaks. They're hitting the lines. They're serving the ball tough. That's half the game sometimes. All
right, of course, Karch Kirai comes into this final match with 6 points, having won all 3 matches yesterday, carried over. Jose Loyola has 4. Scott Akitabi with 4 as well. Tight set. Nice swing by Akitabi. Fabulous bump set by Mike Whitmarsh.
Great set. We said that before. Whitmarsh has got some wheels. It's a bad pick. I mean, he's one of the biggest guys on the beach, but he does have some wheels. Bad pass. Whitmarsh takes off, but look at the set. He throws it right on the net so he can take an approach and take a good swing at the ball, putting the ball away. Great set.
Point scoring opportunity not capitalized on by Kirai and Loyola. Ak is right there.
Here we go.
Ak gets to 10.
Very nice. Whitmarsh intimidating block again. And Akitabi, he knows what to do with that ball when he gets it.
Akitabi and Whitmarsh down now only 2, 12-10.
Ak with the big dig. Whit puts him up a little bit higher, gives him the court to see, and puts it right past Loyola. Tighten it up, 10-12. Ak's going to come down the middle again here, Paul.
Karch just tapping into Mike Whitmarsh for a very important side out.
Some players, when it's tight like this, they go to their bread and butter shots. Karch will get up high, cut that ball inside, or go off you, just like he did right there.
Karch Kirai, of course, the winner of the first 3 editions of the King of the Beach in 1991, 92, and 93. Scott Akitabi tattooing the sideline. Adam Johnson was our defending champion, but unable to come out of the Grade 8 in yesterday's competition.
Yeah, Heijer and Johnson didn't play well in that last game. They get beat 15-2 by Karch and Whit, and that brought us Whitmarsh.
whether we wanted him or not.
He's coming.
And in a big package, Jose Loyola down the sideline for another side out. Much hotter today than the previous 2 days. Is that a factor?
It has to be 85 out there, Paul. Yesterday it was cloud cover. It was perfect 70 degree. Today it's 85. By the third game, we're going to get some tired people out there. And some sunburned ones.
It is early in the season. Everybody using their SPF 30.
Oh, yeah.
Loyola looking for 13 and gets it.
Very nice shot. You see the way he looked at the court. He saw Akatabi cutting to the right. Great Karch block, sets up the whole situation, touching everything in the net, turns off, watch Loyola take a look, then right over the top into the corner for a point.
I tell you, you got his ability to get out of the sand when you look.
Makes it a lot easier.
Down and seeing an awful lot of court. Scott Akatabi, Mike Whitmarsh taking a 20-second timeout as they've made a little bit of a comeback, but still trail by 3.
Whitmarsh loves his timeouts. He takes more timeouts than anybody on the court.
More than
anybody
you?
in the game. Yeah, I would argue more than I take timeouts. I'll tell you that right now.
And when you didn't have any timeouts, you just scream at the referee, and it worked out that way. A 30-second timeout turned into 2.5 minutes.
That's right. It's better than a timeout. You got to get fired up when you yell. Then you come back and get a point.
You surprised that Mike Whitmarsh was able to advance out of the field we had yesterday?
I was surprised, yes. AJ had to be the favorite.
On the right side, unforced error. We get to match point. Again, this is match 1. We'll have 3 matches for you here today on our coverage of the Miller Lite King of the Beach. This is the first of 3 and would be a huge win for Karch Kiraly. Match point number 1. With the cut shot.
Great cut shot. He came under that ball, that last ball, Paul. He kept that ball in front of him. He could see the court and make a nice cut shot. Nice set by Witt. Cutting across. Nice little cut shot. Rolls it over the top. Wide open space.
Akatabi's got to make some hay here with his jump serve. Witt doesn't have a good one. I think they need a couple with Ak back at the service line. Loyola from the right. Big bomb from the right side.
Actually, Whitmarsh hasn't blocked any balls this match, Paul, you know. And Akatabi's, what, he served 3 aces? Whitmarsh gets in a little blocking role. This is a whole new game.
But they've got a side out. That's the key right now, and this is a team that doesn't play together very often and doesn't practice. That's why it's the King of the Beach. We're going to find out who's the best individually. Whitmarsh with a chop down the line past Loyola.
Great shot. Patented Whitmarsh. The inside ball, he always cuts that thing back or does that little loopy back to the line. Great high hit, though.
Mike Whitmarsh had wins last year in Pensacola, Clearwater, San Francisco, Baltimore, Milwaukee, and Seal Beach. A great season.
Here you go. Pick it up.
Tight set. Whitmarsh, and we get to the 14-11 side change. Whitmarsh and Akatabi stay alive. They trail by 3 here in our first match of the day at the Miller Lite King of the Beach. Coming to you from Las Vegas. That is as close as Mike Whitmarsh and Scott Akatabi would get. Kiraly and Loyola go on and win 15-11. Karch Kiraly takes the all-important first match of the day. Of course, their opposition, Whitmarsh and Akatabi, had plenty of chances early, but it came down to this. You can see long side-out game, only 10.8 seconds left, but when it was over, the big block on the left side by Karch Kiraly. He takes 3 points, as does Jose Loyola. Match 1 is in the bag. We've got 2 more to come for you. Next up, Karch Kiraly gets with Mike Whitmarsh. We're going to see who's the king. Welcome back to a day at the beach with the AVP. This is the Miller Lite King of the Beach, of course. Karch Kiraly, Mike Whitmarsh versus Scott Akatabi, Jose Loyola. Match number 2, already one in the hopper, as you've already seen. Big crowds on hand. And now let's take a look at the standings after match 1. Karch Kiraly, of course, with a victory at the beginning of the day, has 9 points. Loyola, Akatabi, still very much in contention. Relies, of course, on what happens in this match right now. And then Mike Whitmarsh down at the bottom of the list. There is Karch Kiraly. We picked this match up at 3-3. And Tim, the wind has picked up significantly after 2 days of very calm conditions. Which is the good side right now?
The good side is what Karch is on right now, but it's kind of a swirl wind, as you can see. It's swirling around the court, but you want to jump from that side and have a big, tough jump serve right at Akatabi.
Scott Akatabi with Jose Loyola. And Jose Loyola with a stuff block, and Loyola knows his situation. Got to win this match to stay in the running. Nice play against Mike Whitmarsh.
Whitmarsh gets up, but Loyola gets a little bit higher right there. Ack's got to turn on his jump serve today too, Paul.
Maybe a little bit more difficult for him, at least for the moment, because he's got the wind at his back.
Exactly.
Can't hit it quite so hard. Going deep middle, just long.
I thought he was going to try and cut that ball, but he's coming up the middle with a lot more balls right now. I don't know if Whitmarsh has got his jump serve ready to go.
There you see, after, again, 2 days of dead calm conditions, the wind picks up for the finals and what may be a factor. Tight set blown on top.
Big block by big Mike Whitmarsh. Best blocker on the beach. Waiting for Loyola to come down a little bit, right into his zone. Loyola with a good pass. Pure set by Ack. Coming cross court. Penetrated the net. Stuff block.
Even Loyola could not get over Whitmarsh, and this time sizzles his pits a little and goes underneath.
He took a little bit off it and went off his left hand instead of going for that hard down the middle. He gets a kill.
When you hit against Mike Whitmarsh, what was the best way you thought to go after him?
I like to go low and quick, try to get outside. If he can set you up and see where you're coming from, he's too big to go around. It comes back a lot harder than you hit it.
Have to spread your feet so you don't land on the ball. Mike Whitmarsh, of course, a fabulous season last year. Once again with Mike Dodd, 7 wins. And he and Mike Dodd will be a factor again this year. Hackatubby, nice loop over the top. Kirai unable to get there defensively.
Very nice play by Ack. Ack's got all the shots, too. He's a power hitter, but he's also got great shots. If I was Ack, I'd come with a little cut across the court to Whitmarsh right here with that jump serve. Because the wind's coming across at you.
Hackatubby and Loyola currently lead. Kirai and Whitmarsh, I should say, we're tied now 4-4.
Yeah.
Hackatubby and Loyola got off to a great start. Led at the 3-2 side change, but now on the good side, Kirai and Whitmarsh have made their move, and Hackatubby misses serves back to back.
Right, you got to keep the pressure on Whitmarsh and Karch. I mean, tough serves are good, but you got to keep them in.
Serving Loyola once again. Loyola taking a look.
There we go. He sees the court as well as anybody, Paul. Plus, he gets up higher than anybody. That's probably half the reason.
Who's the best jumper you ever saw on the beach? Everybody talks about Loyola, but who was the best?
I don't know. Karch was pretty good in his day, too. A picture of him in Manhattan looks like his boobies are above the net.
That's set well off the net. Mike Whitmarsh making do.
You got Karch on the right side. You're changing the whole perspective on how you're setting. He's a left side player. He's setting the right side. But now he's a right side player setting the opposite way. It's a tough thing to do.
A lot of people think it's just the approach and hitting that's difficult transition from left to right, but it's everything. How your body moves, passing and setting the ball.
The setter will make you look good or bad. I know that. I was a bad setter.
We all know that. Whitmarsh hits it out of bounds. Kirai's been working on his jump serve during the offseason. Bombed one into the wind from the good side. Whit and Karch do not convert. We're still tied at 4.
I don't think Whit went a full-on jump on that one, and it kind of threw it out of bounds.
Low set to Whit. Net violation on Jose Loyola. And, you know, Jose isn't as bad as you were. He doesn't question as many calls as you did. Maybe the wind blew a piece of his trunks or something. Let's take a look.
It looks just like maybe just his shirt. Very tight call. I'd have to give him a little more verbal abuse on that one.
And a big call, because that would have given them a score from the bad side. Ack on the low set. Boy, punching the ball hard at Mike Whitmarsh.
That was right in Whitty's closet right there. He's over the net. That ball's coming straight down. Ack got on top of the ball a little bit quick, put it out of bounds.
Loyola, important that he just keep this serve in. Ack's already missed a couple.
Keep the pressure on him. That's what I say. No. Ooh, Paul, that's what I say.
Say it louder.
I should say it a little louder. Karch is going to wind up with one right here. He knows the wind's right in his face, I think.
Hitting it as hard as he can. Ack running out of room.
Great play. Super ball, Paul. Been like that all weekend long. High level cross court, great dig by Loyola. Whitmarsh sees it, open court, boom.
I think Loyola, maybe with a win, just was surprised that the ball blew over the net. Thought he'd made a good dig.
Well, it all started on the serve. Karch, big wind up, hard serve. You can't control that ball.
Kirai and Whitmarsh take their first lead at 5-4. They trailed early, 3-2 side change, then they tied it up at 4, and yet another missed serve for the team of Scott Akatubby and Jose Loyola.
Akatubby's missed 4 serves already, Paul. We're at 5-4 in this game.
Back, crushing the ball past Whitmarsh.
He says, I might miss a serve, but I'm going to come back and bomb one. That cross-court angle he's hitting right here is a heavy ball. Watch Akatubby get up, release the ball. Very good-looking swing.
Ball back off the net. Loyola pounding. Witt showing some defense. We've had a lot of great points in 3 days of play here in Las Vegas, and that was certainly one of the best. And early in the season, the players may be looking around for a little oxygen.
They're looking for time. A great block by Jose. Karch sees it, uses him out of bounds.
A couple of opportunities once again missed by Loyola, and he's the biggest factor here. Of course, he's in striking distance of Karch Kirai. Must win this match.
And he knows that. They get a point on this side. They're going to come to the good side, and they can get 4 points on that side if they're both jump serving well.
I agree, particularly with the tough jump serving of Jose Loyola and Scott Akatubby. Ak just knuckling this one in. Another net call. Marvin Hall, the umpire, down on the beach. There's Greg Krause up top, but another net called. And I think Loyola just ought to tidy up his tank top a little bit. I think that's what's happening.
He better get a tattoo on his arm or something. Take that tank top off. Marvin's right on it, though. Akatubby yelling at Loyola.
Chance for Witt. And 6-4.
Nice. Whitmarsh keeping that ball in front of him, stroking it down to the open sand. You gotta love that.
Loyola and Akatubby had a chance to make it 5-all and go to the good side. Instead, Kirai and Whitmarsh lead by 2. Back in Las Vegas for the Miller Lite King of the Beach. Of course, coming to you from the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. They've got a pool here. They've got a slide. My kids would have loved it if they could have been here. They couldn't, unfortunately, and now they've got a volleyball stadium. Whitmarsh and Kirai lead by 2. Akatubby and Loyola coming to the good side. See if they can make it work for them.
Great set by Loyola. Akatubby likes that ball a little bit higher. He gets under the ball. He's got a swan-like approach. He gets up there and takes a big rip at the ball. Loyola getting the crowd all fired up here.
Who out here will deal with the wind the best?
Well, Karch knows the wind. You know, Whitmarsh is probably the greenest out here, but I'm sure Karch will bring him right along.
Try to keep the ball low.
Keep it low. That's the key to this wind game. Keep it low, near the net, put the ball on the ground. If you get a dig, good transition. Don't blow those opportunities. Make them get the ball. No out balls.
I see Kirai maybe take a little more conservative approach to jump serving from the bad side. Wind at his back. And Loyola chopping just inside Mike Whitmarsh.
I think he was lucky to hit the net on that. That thing looked like it was heading out of bounds. He hit the top of the net and dribbled over. Better be lucky than good.
That's the only way I got by.
You were the slasher off the top.
Well, off the side anyway. All right, Scott Akatubby back to serve, jump serving. Probably a key, at least this pass through the good side. Long chase for Jose Loyola, running out of room.
Very nice.
I'll tell you, they've got the 60-yard dash indoors, 100 meters outdoors. That was a 60, and Jose had no chance to get there.
Plus, the wind's blowing it the opposite way, so I don't think he could have got there in a taxi.
Whitmarsh Whitmarsh serving, going to come to the net and block against Scott Akatubby.
Wind's really wreaking havoc with that ball out there. It's moving it around. Good control by Ak to get it over the block and down and open sand.
And we have the good fortune of having a great view of the court, but the misfortune of being about 50 feet above it. So feels like a tornado up here. And the wind conditions, of course, to the advantage of Jose Loyola and Scott Akatubby, but they continue to miss serves. How many total now for that team?
They've got 8 missed serves already, and we're not even halfway through this match.
And only 2 for Whitmarsh and Kirai. Of course, Whitmarsh isn't going to jump serve or take too many chances. Whitmarsh with the touch. Oh, nice hustle by Mike Whitmarsh, but unable to make the play with teammate Karch Kirai.
You know, sometimes when Akatubby sets the ball, it's so dead when he throws it up there that the wind will wreak havoc with it and blow it all over the place. If you get a good bump set, will kind of spin, it'll spin on. But Loyola's big enough to put the ball down any way he wants.
Well, we're not talking about just missed serves. We're talking about barely. Yeah, Ak trying to laugh that one off. A couple of bad misses.
He could turn it right around and get 5 or 6 aces. That's the way he plays, wide open.
He needs to. Both of them do. Over the top once again by Jose Loyola. And I agree with you. Akatubby has such a soft, deep dish that the ball goes up there.
Yes.
With no spin, and the wind can just do whatever it wants.
Wreak havoc with it. I'm telling you, that probably bring it down a little bit and try to control it a little bit more to the net, because Loyola's quick enough to hit anything he wants.
Tough serve there. Loyola!
Great set by Akatubby.
Loyola looked like he made a nice dig. Ak got to it a bit late, but it pays off.
Great set by Ak. Loyola, boom, straight down the middle. Nobody's bringing that back.
Akatubby and Loyola trail now by only 1. This has become the wind bowl right now. Ak from the good side, just with a nice cuff top spin. We're tied.
As we said, he hits them out, but he hits them good sometimes. That short circuit with some difficulty made a very great up. Lower set, Akatubby able to wind up and drive it down to the open sand.
You know, we talk so much about the advantage jump serving and the problems for Kirai and Whitmarsh passing the ball, but setting, hitting, everything, particularly with gusts of 20 miles an hour, really give the team on the good side an advantage.
A big advantage. They got to get 4 on this side, because Karch is going to come back and he's going to throw some heat at them too. Whitmarsh's jump serve isn't a great thing. He should do the floaty though, and the wind is effective too.
All right, we are tied at 6. Kirai Whitmarsh against Akatubby and Loyola. Second match of the King of the Beach. We'll be back with much. Okay. We're back at the Miller Lite King of the Beach, tied at 6. Only 3 minutes and 19 seconds to play on a very windy afternoon here in Las Vegas after a couple of days of perfect weather. Good coverage by Kirai. Nobody else makes that
play. Cover by Whitmarsh. Loyola just a little slow at getting back to that net.
Jose Loyola back to serve after the error by Kirai and Whitmarsh. We are tied at 6.
Jose's going to bring some heat right here, Paul.
He's missed his share. Karch, no trouble with that. Boy, the set drifted inside on him a little bit and just cranked it cross court.
Only because Karch has got that great jump and let it drift in and then hit it cross court. I say on Karch, you've got to take away his line and make him hit that cross court on that right side.
Kirai jump serving this time to his former partner, Scott Akatubby. Cratering inside of Whitmarsh.
Ak hits one of the heavier balls on tour, no doubt. Stokey hits a heavy ball. Ak hits a heavy ball. Loyola hits a heavy ball. That was a heavy ball.
Where did you rank in there?
Fluff deep corner.
But down.
At 24 is heavy.
Akatubby to Whitmarsh. Dig, but just out of bounds by Scott Akatabi.
Nice try. Driving across court. Akatabi couldn't come up with it.
Where Scott played with Karch Kiraly for much of last season when Kent Steffes was injured. Won 8 tournaments with Karch prior to that. And 10 years on tour, Ak had won only 4 tournaments combined.
Nice
Comes
shot.
through with a side out here.
They've been serving Ak 12 times to Loyola's 6. I mean, what is they keep going on Ak, and Ak's putting the ball away.
I don't think they want to see Jose just bombing Akatabi's sets at this point in time, but we'll see what happens with the wind. I wonder if Loyola, you think feeling the pressure a little bit?
I may be, Paul. He's playing pretty loose, but I don't think he thinks like that. I think he goes out there every game and just takes it one game at a time.
Just plays.
Just play. Just set me, baby.
A healthy attitude keeps it fun. Tied at 6, Akatabi and Loyola against Kiraly and Whitmarsh. Match number 2 of the final day of the King of the Beach. Chance for Whitmarsh. Got to go. Loyola had the touch. Low set out of the middle from Whitmarsh to Kiraly, and that was it.
The backward pokey doesn't go. Karch picks it up and pounds it to the ground.
Kiraly and Whitmarsh take the lead on the bad side. Jose Loyola for the hard cross-court kill.
He's got a bag of tricks there too, Paul. He says, Karch, I can do it just as good. Ak's got to get on a roll here. It'd be very important. They could change 8-7. They don't want to go that bad side.
Akatabi and Loyola down 1 here. Going to Whitmarsh. Tight set. Akatabi with the cut shot. We're tied at 7. Kiraly and Whitmarsh, Akatabi and Loyola.
Ak with a great dig right here. Loyola cautiously puts the ball near the net, and a great cut shot, disguising it at the last second, driving it to open sand.
Don't know if they've made enough hay here on the good side.
Just missing.
All right, Akatabi with the missed serve. Let's now go up to Heather Cox, who's standing by with the defending champion, Adam Johnson.
Thanks, Paul. Obviously, Adam, you'd love to be playing here. You are the one figured to be here today. Is it a disappointment, or is it just sort of the nature of the tournament?
Well, it's definitely a disappointment. I mean, having the crown, you want to try and retain that crown for as long as possible, and it's the nature of the game. It's a unique format, and it comes down to points won and lost in games. So, from that standpoint, I'm not there today.
Are you enjoying watching your partner Loyola out here succeeding well today?
Well, it's hard to watch anytime you're out of a tournament, but I hope he wins. So we can at least keep it on the team, keep the crown with the team, and the best of luck to him.
Real quick Olympic question. You can't play with Loyola. He's not a U.S. citizen. What do we look to see you playing with in the Olympics?
Well, I don't know. We got to make a decision, I believe, in the first weekend of May. By that time, who we're going to play with, and I'm going to start calling some people and seeing what their thoughts are, and that's the best answer I can give you right now.
All right, AJ. Thanks so much. Good luck this season. Hey, Paul, back to you.
All right, thanks, Heather. Thanks, Adam Johnson. And as far as the Olympics are concerned, stay tuned. We've got a side change. Kiraly and Whitmarsh up by 1. Back at the Miller Lite, King of the Beach, Karch Kiraly, Mike Whitmarsh with a 1-point lead. And it may not seem like much over Scott Akatabi and Jose Loyola, but they went from the bad side to the good, and they're the ones with the lead. But the good news is that the wind, at least for the time being, has died a little bit.
It's a swirl wind, Paul. It picks up and it calms down. Right now, we have no wind.
Look at the dig, taking the heat off of Scott Akatabi is Karch Kiraly, but out of play.
Ak bringing everything he's got. Karch is sitting there, probably the best defensive player on the court right now, or in the game, as a matter of fact.
Want to hear who else you would put up there in your top 2 or 3 when we have a second? Foot fault, I think, called against Jose Loyola, and a good one. All right, who's your top 3 in terms of defensive players on the beach?
No doubt about it. Mike Dodd has been there. He knows the experience. You can't get a cut shot down on him for all the money in China. Karch Kiraly is definitely right up there. And I'd probably put AJ.
That's your top 3 defensively. And there's number 1, maybe, depending on who you ask, at least after that point. Karch Kiraly with the overhand dig. He and Mike Whitmarsh take the 2-point lead, 9-7.
Karch is sitting there in the angle, just waiting. It comes right out of his face. As quick as he is, gets the ball right up, and then strokes it right down the beach. Boom. Great play.
And Mike Whitmarsh bump setting the ball, but putting some forward spin on it, cutting through the wind. Really a nice play.
And bringing it down a level. See, Akatebe likes the ball a lot higher than anybody else, so the ball's going to drift. You bring it down, you get on top of the ball and drive it down to the sand.
Scott Akatebe, of course, caught in the situation of who would that man Karch Kirai play with this year? Would it be me, or would he go back to Kent Steffes? Made the decision to go back to Kent. Jose Loyola over the top. Was there a touch? Yes. Officials call a touch on Mike Whitmarsh.
Really protesting this. I thought I saw a touch.
Well, apparently Mike Whitmarsh would disagree.
I think so.
Change that call, and it was a big one.
It was a big one.
That would have been a point for Kirai, and Whitmarsh make it 10-7.
Here it is at the net here. Great play by Ak. Save it, puts it right on. No, that's over the top. But it looked weird because Loyola looked like he was going to hit it, and then he kind of changed it up.
And also
kind of threw me for
and also did not come off with a lot of top spin.
No.
You know, and once the ball does tick the block a little bit, sometimes it nullifies the spin on the ball. And Mike's going over to talk to the lineswoman, and she just took about 3 giant steps back. All right, well, we settle things down here from Las Vegas at the Miller Lite King of the Beach. Karch Kirai and Scott Akatebe still lead by 2. Back in Las Vegas, this is the King of the Beach second match of the day, and the controversy has not gone away, but it has settled down just a little bit. Mike Whitmarsh, yes, there was a touch on that play. Touch, no touch, it cost Kirai and Whitmarsh a point, but that is by the board. They come back and get the side out and still retain the lead 9-7 from the good side.
You don't want to get Mike Whitmarsh mad. He comes at you even harder. He's got a pretty bad temper, and let's see if he can get something, get a couple blocks here.
Is out of bounds and no touch. Mike Whitmarsh and Karch Kirai said, okay, if we've got to win twice to get a single point, so be it.
Whitmarsh drive you got to go over Whitmarsh a little bit higher than everybody else, so that makes the ball carry a little bit, and with this wind it kind of pushes it deep too.
I think that's a good point. What might have been just a soft touch off the top of the block goes right over Mike Whitmarsh and out of bounds. But side out to Jose Loyola and Scott Akatebe. Loyola with the floaty going at Whitmarsh. Perfect set. Oh, and it drops in front of Mike Whitmarsh. Dig by Scott Akatebe. And boy, did they ever need that point. Akatebe and Loyola get to 10-8.
Loyola touches, so Ak's trying to set him, but Whitmarsh thinks he's going to hit, and it just drops right in front of him.
That is a big play. All right, we've told you that Karch Kirai came into this competition of day 3 as the overwhelming favorite, carrying over points, of course, from the competition yesterday. Now, this is where we stand right now. Karch Kirai playing with Mike Whitmarsh. If he wins this match, he's the king of the beach, because Jose Loyola would then still be with 7, Karch would go to 12, and then if Loyola wins the last match, the most points he can have cumulatively is 10. So, this may be for the king of the beach. Karch Kirai thinking about it right now. He knows that if he wins this match with Mike Whitmarsh, he's the king of the beach, and then our third match of the day will be for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place.
He wants to get 2 more points on this side, Paul. They didn't want to go out of this 10-10 with Ak and Loyola coming to the good side to serve. Be it there's only a minute 30 left in the match, though.
They've got to get, I think, the 11-9 side change. Anything more than that, and you've got to give it to Karch Kirai as the king of the beach here. He was undefeated yesterday. Those points carried over, and there was a lot of talk, quite frankly, about points carrying over and not carrying over to the final day. How do you feel?
I was talking with Karch earlier, and we said instead of carrying over 2 points, we're going to carry over 1 point. So you can have a chance to catch up today. Whitmarsh literally didn't have a good shot at being king of the beach. They had to win 3 in a row.
So, personally, I think that you should play the preliminary rounds to qualify for the right to be the king of the beach, and that the final day, just like the Final Four in college basketball, everybody starts from scratch.
Starts from scratch.
Although I know Karch would disagree, and we're just playing by the rules. He doesn't make them up. Whitmarsh over the top and off Jose Loyola.
You know, I think Axe got to come up with a little tougher serves right now.
Here's the situation. Karch Kirai, if he wins this match, is the king of the beach. Jose Loyola in striking distance, but he must win here. Tight set. Thank you very much.
Now we're talking heavy ball. Loyola, Akatebe throwing it right on. Loyola waiting. Can you put it straight down? Say I can.
But can he serve a ball in the court?
That's what we're talking.
That's what's important right now. Going to Karch Kirai deep middle.
It is.
Big swing. Look at the dig by Kirai. The rally of the match, maybe of the day, and absolutely when Jose Loyola and Scott Akatebe needed it.
Ak with a great dig. Loyola puts him right up. Watch the heat Karch takes. Boom! Whitmarsh, quick as a cat, turns around. Karch cups it into the corner. Ak says, pokey deep, nobody can touch it on the line.
Karch Kirai could not even track that one down. It was a long run. Akatebe and Loyola back in striking distance, down by only one. Jose Loyola must win this match. He's within one. We'll find out what happens when we come back. Welcome back to beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, and we're talking King of the Beach. Karch Kirai and Mike Whitmarsh lead by one, 10-9 over Jose Loyola and Scott Akatebe. For the tie, Akatebe and Loyola. We go to 10-10. We will change sides. 46 seconds remain. Akatebe and Loyola come to the good side. Their serving game becomes very important. And I think young Jose Loyola out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, understands very well what the situation is. In order to have a chance at the King of the Beach, Loyola and Akatebe must win. Karch Kirai and Witt will have to answer. Welcome back to a day at the beach with the AVP. The crowds have been fabulous, and they love all of these players, but I think Jose Loyola is the crowd favorite right now. That tells the story. He must win this match to stay in the running. We are tied at 10. Jose Loyola and Scott Akatebe on the good side. Loyola's been serving terribly, but comes up with a good one. And Karch Kirai with the unforced error.
Very uncharacteristic for Karch, but the wind is wreaking havoc with that ball. It dropped a little bit quicker than he's used to.
How important for Akatebe and Loyola to get to 10-10 for the side change. Time remaining, 41.5 seconds. Working on Karch again. And he comes through, hammering cross court.
Once, maybe never twice, Karch says. That's what makes him so great. He doesn't make the same mistake probably the rest of the day, I'd have to say, Paul.
And of course, we should point out that throughout the course of this match, Kirai playing on his offside.
Yes.
Never plays on the right side except in this tournament. Karch is there against his old teammate. Loyola, Tim, and look like Loyola had an easy chance, relatively so at the dig, saying right there, my fault.
He just didn't come through, follow through with the dig, and it just came off his arm a little bit. Ak couldn't get back to get it. Big point, big point.
We talked about maybe yes, maybe no, feeling the pressure. If he's loose and free, I think that's a ball that he gets too easily.
I agree with you there, Paul. I just think sometimes you didn't make the right follow through. He just stabbed at the ball. He should have followed through with a little bit better technique, got the ball higher in the air.
We're tied at 11. 25.8 seconds left on the game clock.
You've got to give the advantage, though, to Loyola right now. They're going to side out. They're going to have a couple of cracks at some jump serves, and you never know what's going to happen there.
Karch Kirai, of course, looking for his fourth title. He won the first three in a row, all competed in Daytona Beach, Florida. Then we moved to Orlando, and Adam Johnson won for the first time. Of course, he was head-to-head against Karch Kirai in that final. We're tied at 11. If Karch wins this match, he's king of the beach. Akatebe
bringing the heat right over the top of Whitmarsh. Whitmarsh got his rally cap on now. Axe got to go back there and throw up. I'd go to Karch deep on this side. He's got this on the right side, and the wind's coming out of his corner right there.
Akatabi and Kirai, of course, played a lot of tournaments together last year. We'll see if he went to school and found out how to break down. His old partner goes deep middle.
Who will be king? We might have just gotten our answer right there with a one-on-one confrontation.
Huge stuff block. Loyola with a great dig. Axe throws it up there as pretty as can be. He's coming with hard angle heat. Karch says, take it back to Rio.
A chance for Akatabi and Loyola to take the 12-11 lead with only 12 seconds left. Could be headed to overtime.
Loyola hits it out.
Loyola hits the ball out of bounds with 6.6 seconds left. Karch Kirai is just that many ticks away from being king of the beach once again. They're talking strategy right here.
Yeah.
Karch and Whitmarsh have played in so many finals against each other where the clock has been a big factor.
They're going to take a timeout.
And I think this is a good move.
Oh, yes.
Take a 20-second timeout to be absolutely sure of your strategy. What's going on right now in terms of the clock and what they're going to do when we come back to play.
Karch is saying, Whit, you get back up there. You touch this ball up, and we're going to win this match right here. Whitty is probably the best blocker and touch blocker on the beach. He just wants to get that ball up there. He touches the ball, Karch touches the ball, the game's over. They don't even need to put it back over the net.
I can bet you that there will be no jump serve.
I can bet you that.
The clock starts when the ball is served.
Right.
And the usual side out takes about 4 seconds. So if Loyola and Akatabi can pound this ball to the beach, they'll have one last chance to tie. Under 5. The ball is down. We have 2 seconds left. And Jose Loyola and Scott Akatabi aren't going to talk about it. Loyola's going to plead to the volleyball fans and to the beach volleyball gods and hope to... Does he go for an ace here?
You know, he's got to go for a tough serve. He can't afford to miss this serve, but he's got to make it tough. Go to Karch deep.
This is it. The side out and the win.
Oh, boy.
Karch Kirai, after 5 matches, 3 yesterday, 2 today, is undefeated with a perfect record. And Karch Kirai, for the 4th time in history, is beach volleyball's king.
Loyola had the shot at it. He came with all he had. Karch took it and put it right back down.
We've had tremendous volleyball played at a very high level for 3 days. But at the end of it all, and I must point out we have 1 match to go. With that victory, Karch Kirai is the king of the beach. All hail to the king.